Yo. So it's another episode of the Hype Hour. Today, we're joined by House of Orange with Ian, Clark, and Tone, the creators of House of Orange. Such a special episode right here. We had them back in July 10th of 2019. So, yeah, man, what y'all been up to, man? What's been going on?
Man, just grinding. It's been a crazy year, as everybody know, from the pandemic, and I feel like we got a lot accomplished since the last time we spoke.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I mean, I know, just thinking about having you guys back on the show, like resilience, right? Like that is something that I think a lot of businesses right now, you're either going to swim or you're going to sink, you know what I mean? And so watching your guys' trajectory and just seeing like some of the new developments, like, I was watching, Joe Budden podcast, and I saw them all with like your guys' stuff on there. And I was like, yo, like, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
Such a blessing.
And it shows the work that is being done. You know what I mean? What you guys are doing, it like behind the scenes and, getting around. And so like, tell us a little bit about that, man. Like, how did you guys like get like some of your clothing? Like, I'm sure other people have it as well, but like, that was like, I'm sure that was like a big thing, like when that came out, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, since we're such a small team, it's really just me and Tone. Everything you see that we do is through our hands. So we kind of just got on our grind, just hit people up, hit the DMs. A lot of people don't know that DMs go a long way. Wow. Okay. So I literally just slid in the DMs because I'm a big fan of the podcast. Watch it every day. Big fan. So slid in the DMs. Like, what's up? I'm a big fan. We have a brand. Just a few of our pieces. We would love to ship it out to you. And he was just so cordial and just so real. It was like, yeah, shoot it to me. Wow. Give me a size, whatever. And I'm the type of person, if I send you something, I don't ever ask you, oh, can you wear it or can you post it? I kind of want you to wear it, you to post it if it's in your heart, I'm not the type of person to just push it up on you. So I just sent it to him. I didn't say anything about you wearing it or can you guys talk about it on the podcast. It was more just organic. And I think that's always the best thing, in my opinion.
Did he tell you anything about like, yo, I'm going to drop it today? Or was it just like, like, what was that like when, cause I mean, what you said was pretty much organic. It was like, hey, like, check this out. And so you guys didn't know that it was going to come out. And then when it came out, like, what was like your guys' reaction? Like, wow. Like
it was, cause if you're a fan of the show, they drop, the audio first and they come out with the video I think like 2 days later. So I'm listening to it and I think Rory mentioned something like more this and this with the Reggie, and he started describing. I don't think he said Reggie, he just started describing the hoodie. I'm like, yep, this is it. Like he's talking about the hoodie. So I got up, did a little scream like, let's go. That's a big moment for us. I mean, I think that might be the second moment. Or, I mean, it's equal to, Roddy Ricch wearing one of our pieces. So,
oh, wow. Yeah.
So that was just exciting. So I hit Tone like, hey, bro, it's go time. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is big for us.
Yeah, that's definitely. I actually woke up to a text from a friend of mine. He had sent me a screenshot of him wearing it. And I was just like, what? Like, wow. It was just really, really crazy. And then actually with Roddy, I was at work, like in the lab. And then I got another like phone call, like, bro, hit me. Like, Roddy's in your hoodie. I'm like, what? And then my phone was just blowing up. Yeah. So it was really dope.
So tell me about that. I mean, tell me about like, I'm all about grassroots, right? Like in a sense of, I feel like these days is going back to that, right? It's going back to rather than, like we're using social media, but I think a lot of people that are getting through like the mud and getting through like the, oversaturation are going back to the grassroots. Like, hey, let me actually pull up somewhere and like and introduce myself or whatever, because we see new things happening every day, music wise, clothing wise, like everything, you know what I mean? And so like can you like educate some of our listeners on just like the importance of like showing up?
Yeah. I mean, we talk about this all the time, just kind of like living in it and like rejoicing in the moment, because the way the whole Roddy Ricch thing happened, I was out for dinner with like two of my boys, and Roddy came in, and I was like, is that Roddy? My boy's like, yeah, that's Roddy. I'm like, man, I should like shoot him some stuff. And I'm not that type of person. I'm very like I don't want to say cordial or shy. I'm very reserved. I'm not the type of person who literally would go up to you and talk to you about that. I'm a very outgoing person, but I'm more reserved. So I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. Like, you know, he had entourage, he had a hell of people with him. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. My boy's like, bro, you gotta do this. And mind you, I didn't even have my stuff really on me because we drove my boy's car. It was at his house.
Oh, wow.
His house was like 10, 15 minutes away. He's like, bro, I'll give you my keys. Go back to the house, get the stuff, and give it to him. I'm like, all right, forget it. Drove back to his spot, got the stuff. Exactly, and it's crazy because when I came back, he was just leaving. Literally just walked up to him like, hey, I'm a designer out of Los Angeles. Here's a few pieces, you know, hopefully you like it, and walked away. Once again, I didn't say, let me get a picture, post this, you know what I'm saying? I just gave it to him, and, you know, if he liked it, he liked it, and he happened to wear it twice. He happened to wear the hoodie multiple times and the hat a few times. So it's more organic, and it's just a blessing.
Wow. And I'm sure he respected that. I mean, you know, artists are getting pulled by several different people all the time, you know what I mean? But, you know, one thing that I do know is, like, if something is dope, it's dope, you know what I mean? And so it doesn't really matter, like, you know, if, how it's placed or where it's given. If you know that it's really great, like at the end of the day, someone's going to open up that, you know, package and be like, oh shoot, like this is dope. Like, why wouldn't I not wear this? You know what I mean? As opposed to, and exclusivity. I mean, I think at that point, like, there's something really cool about a brand that, you know, is growing and building, and it's kind of like, oh shoot, like I was the first to wear this.
Exactly. Yeah. I tell, well, I like to think that when people are starting brands, I like to tell people, you have your advantages too. Like, of course, these big brands have their advantages as far as like capital and money wise and marketing and budgets or whatever. But you have the advantage of being like not well known. Not everybody wants to wear the same brand. So if you're an upcoming brand, you're dope. That's one of your advantages. So take advantage of that.
Totally. Yeah. And so, like, how are you guys like moving now? Like, as far as, you know, that being like a big, you know, milestone for you guys, and turning point in a sense or whatever, like just, you know, the growth and the evolution of House of Orange. Like, how do you guys move now? Like, when it comes to, you know, getting with different celebrities or, you know, dropping off some of your pieces to people? Or is it, you know,
I would say like just trial and error, just kind of DMs, seeing if we can get in contact with PR, anybody that knows them. We have a couple of people that are in the music industry, and it's constant text messages like, yo, can you get this to Roddy? And we're still trying to actually get in touch with Roddy. We want to give him some more pieces and stuff. So
nice. You hear that, Roddy, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, just constant grassroots and just grinding it out. Like, it's just me and Tone right now, so we don't have nobody on the team that handles PR or just you know, direct contact with these people. So it's just word of mouth and networking is so important. Like, reach out and talk to your friends and let people know what you're doing. You never know who people like know. So,
yeah. So like, your guys' you know, next season just showed up, which was, you know, Chasing Summers. So like, you know, tell us a little bit about like the inspiration that went into that and like, you know, the evolution. I mean, I think last time we were talking a bit about you know, your I think it was like the second or third like season that you guys came out with, and like how has things changed from you know, that time to this time?
Yes. So when we first met, or not met, but had the when we first came onto the podcast a year ago, I think we were getting ready to drop our most up to date release, which is Dear Love. So we had that, we dropped that. We actually had a pop up that was extremely successful. So that was a really big moment. And then we had a fashion show that we did that was pretty dope. And then, so heading into 2020, we had an idea. We're doing a huge drop we were going to do with another pop-up. Then COVID hit. So we kind of had to pivot. Yeah. And so we were just, we had a bunch of designs that we had, that we were working on that, you know, really didn't have a home. And then, so we started brainstorming, and I kind of drew inspiration from my time when I went to Australia. About a couple years ago, about 3 years ago. And that feeling that I had out there was kind of like that feeling that I would get out here when it's, you know, 80 degrees and it's clear skies and sunny. Like, it's that feeling, I can't explain it, but it's a very
euphoria.
Like this is what summer is. It just feels good. I can't really put into words, but just that feeling. So the idea of that mixed with us not being able to go outside. Everybody was stuck in the house and doing literally anything to get out the house, going for walks, visiting friends. So I feel like we were all chasing summer. Like we were chasing that feeling of summer, of the 89 degrees in LA, palm trees, that feeling. It's very euphoric, like you were saying. I can't really put in words, but it's a certain feeling you get when it's like that in LA. So that's kind of the focal point, the inspiration behind that drop, is just chasing that high, you know?
Yeah. And Tone, like, as far as like the workflow, like, how do you think that, you know, like Chasing Summers has, like, what do you feel like as far as like the workflow, what do you feel like has helped, and what do you think are things that you guys kind of have done away with, you know what I mean, since, you know, the last you said Dear Love, right? Yeah, from that time, like what do you think has kind of changed?
I think as far as like, I think coronavirus or COVID has allowed us to take a step back and kind of like reevaluate. Like we said, we're starting to do a lot more marketing now. I feel like we have the pieces, but what we don't have is eyes, right? We need to get more eyes on it. And like you said, if it's dope, it's dope. People are going to like it. We just need to get people to see it. So I think it's allowed us to kind of take a step back and like kind of perfect the marketing aspect, because it's only me and Ian. Yeah. So we kind of have to be the jack of all trades. We're like, right now we're trying to teach ourselves how to do the Facebook marketing and stuff, and we're just constantly teaching ourselves.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And so, I mean, do you guys feel like you guys want to expand? Like, what is like the next steps as far as like, you know, the next couple of months look like for you guys? Yeah, we definitely want to expand. We want to take it to the top, take it as far as we can. So, so right now we're looking at dropping pieces, but they're going to be, I'd say, like little capsules. So we might do, you know, 1 piece, 2 piece, then maybe a month from now we do another piece, another 2 pieces. So it's kind of going to be capsules and different deliveries up to our next big drop. But I'm excited. I think this next couple of months are really going to show people like we're serious about this. We have actually like cut and sew pieces from, you know, pants to flannel jackets to you know, just different stuff, you know, just actually really touching on fashion, because that's the goal. That's why I started all this. Like, I don't want to do hoodies and shirts forever. I want to do actual pieces, cut and sew. I want to get into women's eventually. You know, it's just it's deeper than a t-shirt and a hoodie. You know? I love doing that, and I think that's the essence of streetwear. But I want it to grow to, you know, where we can take it to Paris Fashion Week and stuff. Yeah, do you guys see you guys like move into like a brick and mortar type of thing or whatever, where people can pull up and, you know, buy, you know, clothes there? Because you guys are mostly digital at the moment. Yeah. That's definitely the goal. I know times are changing, and you know, buying stuff online is kind of the way, but I don't think brick and mortar and actually going to a store wherever go away. That feeling of just touching the people and actually having an experience, I think that's what's important. So we want to do brick and mortar, but it has to be a dope experience. It has to be a flip on it, whether it's what, you know, Nipsey did at his store, rest in peace to Nip, you know, or even there's another store, it's like a speakeasy, it's called Bodega. It's in Los Angeles. It's just dope, like the concept of you walking through like a grocery store, you walk through like a freezer, and then you're in the store. Like, that's so swag to me. It's like, hard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we want to touch fashion and touch retail in a way that's kind of never been done before. I definitely think we can do that, you know? 100%. I mean, I think that, you know, right now, people are itching to, you know, get out. You know what I mean? They want to experience. You know what I mean? They want to feel. They want to touch. You know, like they want to touch. You know, things in a sense of like, who wants to just stay at home and watch Netflix all day? You know what I mean? Like, one thing that I thought about for a while was like, you know, movie theaters. I'm not sure if they will open up again, but I was like, you know what? They'll open up because it's an experience. It's taking your family there and stuff. And so, you know, when I think about the brick and mortar, I think that it's just about the innovation. Like back in the day, you know, Kiss, the band or whatever, they started, you know, with their tours by, you know, bringing lights and, you know, doing all different like costumes. Nobody ever saw this before. They was like, what the heck is going on or whatever. They put out memorabilia, you know, they put out all this stuff. They made it an experience to go watch a tour or whatever. And so that's what we see today when we go to like a really dope, you know, concert. We're like, yo, like there's fire, there's all this stuff or whatever. So I think the same thing is like changing the trajectory of the way that we look at clothing and how we actually wear our clothing. And yeah, people are sending stuff where you can try it on and then send it back, but it's still like, you're not getting to meet the people, or you're not really getting to the core of the why.
Yeah.
You know, and so I've been studying this guy named Simon Sinek, and he has a great book called Start With Your Why. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. It's one of my favorite books ever.
Oh, well, let's expand on that, man. So, like, what is your guys' why? Like, what, like, you know, and has it changed over time?
It's crazy because that's such a very deep question. For real. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't know their why, and us starting out as a brand, I would say our why as of right now is, I would say, to push fashion forward in a creative way. I would say that's the why right now, to push fashion forward in a creative way, whether it's doing a dope, you know, pop-up drop, or a dope collection that's inspired by, you know, something in the 70s or something just different, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like our why right now. Yeah.
No, that's dope. I mean, I think about this time being super controversial, and I'm sure it's going to lead to, you know, the inspiration for the next couple of years or whatnot. But we live in a really amazing and interesting time right now. And when I say amazing, I say it's amazing because it's never happened before. Right. And so, like, we'll be telling our kids from generation, like, yo, like, when the pandemic happened, I remember my brother calling me up being like, yo, I got the last jar of peanut butter.
Yeah,
like,
crazy.
you know, like, I just think about that. He called me up, and then I was like, yo, I'm chilling in the studio, you know, not like, to me, when I'm in the studio, it's kind of like nothing's happening outside, you know. So I go outside, and like I go to the store, and dog, like, I'm like, yo, is the apocalypse happening? Like,
Exactly.
I was like, what are you getting peanut butter for? He's like, do you know that peanut butter, like, if you get hungry, that's sustainability over time, and da-da-da. I'm like, and so I'm seeing all these people, and then, no joke, I see this one dude pushing the cart, and he has nothing but peanut butter. And I'm like, oh shoot. But that first couple of weeks, man,
Crazy.
like, I mean, that crap was like terrifying.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
Couple of months.
Yeah, you know, but a couple of months, like, you don't know what's going on. You know, you see Trump over here doing his, you know, his stand-up comedy, you know, and like, you know, but I really feel like, you know, the inspiration, like, with art and stuff, like, really comes from like experience and things. And so what are you guys taking from this time, and how do you guys apply that to, you know, possibly your clothing or even artistic ventures, you know?
I think that Ian did a really good job. He had a hat design. It was he hit me up and he was like, yo, I had this hat design I wanted to do, but because of the current time we're in, the hat design was our We'll Be Fine hat. It's in yellow, bright yellow, and it kind of sticks out, and it says We'll Be Fine in all caps. And when he showed him, I was like, dude, this is perfect for like what's going on right now. And I think that it was really a reflection of the time we were in, and I think a lot of people were attracted to it and wanted to buy it. And I think people, when you see that, it's kind of just like it kind of, everybody was able to relate to it. I think that was really, really significant. I think that was a really good what's the name for Ian, like, that he did that.
That it's crazy because, like, when we had a collection idea that we wanted to release that hat with, but like you said, I hit him and we talked about, I was like, this would be a perfect time to drop that. You know, it was at a time where people didn't know if you can go outside, or, you know, can I get the COVID by standing next to you? Like, people was just so on edge. And I kind of wanted to flip it, because I kind of wanted that hat to represent, because when people see, like, the Trump hat, it has a certain message, like a negative message, whatever it is. I wanted that hat to be a positive message, but that same type of, like, viral type thing. Like, if you see that hat, you know, we'll be fine. Like, you don't got to worry about nothing. Like, chill out. You know, I know things are crazy right now, but in the long run, everything always plans out.
Yeah, totally. I mean, as impactful as that is, because, you know, I feel like it's interesting how negativity is very productive, in a sense that sometimes, like, people could be having a great life, and then they come into a conversation and they're like, yeah, but COVID, man, it's just or like such and such is like, but it's their way to kind of relate, because of the fact that, I mean, and this is my own psychological, like, understanding, which is like, people use negativity to relate because it's something that anybody can attach to. You know what I mean?
It's funny that you say that, because I study certain people.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, like, why is Drake so successful? Like, like, for real. And I realized, like, his music is always about missing the girl. That feeling of, like, loneliness or like wanting someone back. And I feel like that's contagious. Like people love the heartbreak.
Yeah.
So it's funny that you say that. Like people use that to relate. It makes perfect sense.
They do. I mean, and you're right. I mean, see, this is the thing is like I'm not trying to be all esoteric, but I'm going to tell you, like, even in music, right, we hear like these frequencies like 808s and all this stuff. All this stuff resonates at the bottom, right? It doesn't resonate up here. You know what I mean? Meaning like you're feeling it like in your chest and everything under, right? You're not feeling it up here really. You know what I mean? So the difference is if you're getting hit with an 808 sound, right, that's low or whatever all day, you're going to be in this kind of low, even if the record is super, you know, like energetic or whatever the case is, it's hitting you in a different way. You see how like Happy has no 808s in it because I'm happy. Everything is keyboards coming on and it's up here. You know what I mean? And so you got to think, you know, like when I think about like negativity being productive in a way of conversation, it takes like the things like what you just mentioned is like, you know, it's going to be just fine. Like with that, you know, with the yellow cap or whatever, it's like it's in your face, but it's also light. You know what I mean? It's opening up that bridge to give people hope. But I feel like, you know, when you look at the media, you know, you look at you know, like I said, even music or whatever, like. Right now, Justin Bieber has a song out that's number 2 or whatever. That's this very uplifting song or whatever. It just came out, but it went straight to number 2. But everything prior to that is nothing but like 808s and just like he don't have no 808s in this song or whatever, you know? So, I mean, the reason why I bring that Justin Bieber up is just because of the fact that it's like, okay, here's one area where it's very like different than everything else. It's like kind of like oil and water. It's just like they just poured that in there. So, you know, you guys being that in this time, what do you feel like has been the most inspirational like piece that you come back with during this time for, you know, you guys individually? Like
that's a good question. I think this time has really taught me, and I think both of us, that it's okay to sit down. Like you don't need to go out every weekend. You don't need to be in the know or into everything. Like sit down and like kind of focusing on your goals and what you want to accomplish. There's a good in every bad. So I think the COVID or pandemic kind of just taught me to chill out. Like you don't need to go out there all the time. You know what I'm saying? Focusing on your goals. Not saying that we weren't focused, but I think we kind of tapped in a little more. And I think being that with everything that has happened in in a year, I think it just shows that it's like we're on to something. Like we have something here. Yeah. You know, Roddy wouldn't just put that on just to put that on. You feel me?
Totally.
Or Maul wouldn't wear that just to wear that. So not to even like sound cocky or anything.
No.
I'm just saying like I think we really got something going, and it's just we got to really you know put the pedal to the floor. You know.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I definitely agree. I would probably only say like he said. For me, it would be just like I think that when the pandemic hit, it like he said, it me to sit down and kind of hone in on and focus on things that I really wanted. And House of Orange is something that I'm really, really passionate about. And fashion has always been something that I really love. And I think that this has broadened my eyes to like what we can do, and not just like House of Orange, but just like putting my money into like real estate and just a whole bunch of other things, just like getting wealth for my family and just the betterment of that.
Yeah. But this is the thing is, you know, I think even on the highest level, it's not being taught down to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no disrespect, like, you know, but just to be honest, it's like the people that are affluent right now, you know, and been affluent for a long time, like when COVID hits and, you know, then, you know, we have these, you know, crazy things happening with, you know, the understanding of the way the black culture has been, you know, oppressed for so long. Where were the people like that were at the top or whatever being able to educate us on investments, right? Like, hey, invest in the stock market, man. Like, you know, like that is 100% like everybody, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, green, yellow, or whatever, anybody can invest in the stock market. Where are the people telling us like, oh, do that, man? Like that's the next level or whatever. Where are the people telling us, you know, hey man, like starting a business and being an entrepreneur, like don't work for nobody, you know, no, like what we get is, you know, go to school, which is great. You know, that's cool for a lot of people. But for an entrepreneur, it's a little different. You got to learn things from a different standpoint. And some things you do learn in college. But I know I'm going on a rant, but it's just one of those things that really get me like fired up. So, but like right now, I feel like for those people like us or whatever that are going after what we love and doing what we love and just not hearing all the noise and stuff, like I feel like that gives us this idea of, because they want us to fail, you know what I mean? They don't want us to see us grow. Like, I'm not trying to be Khaled here, but I'm saying like they don't want us to have the next show, man. They don't want us. But what do you guys do with that kind of like power? Because I'm sure that you guys feel that way when you're, building your brand, and also like blood, sweat, and tears is like really something that you can feel because being an entrepreneur is not easy. Yeah. So tell us about like,
So I would say like for me personally, this House of Oranges was a way for me to escape from everything that was currently going on. And my major is I'm a software engineer for a big company.
Oh, shoot.
So I deal with that a lot. Even when I was coming into my college matriculation, I dealt with that. And then the way I dressed, I would walk into class with like designer, bags and stuff. And I think, who's this kid dressed like a rapper or whatever?
Wow.
And like kind of like not. They didn't think I was capable, So I kind of feel like I had to like prove myself. And now that I've gotten there, I kind of realized like wow, like I'm really just another employee here, you know what I mean? So it kind of made me kind of step back and just be like, wow, like me and Ian are doing something that's really great and that can really be something, you know what I mean? So it kind of just once I clock out after work, I'm like House of Orange, we're reading books, we doing all types of stuff, everything we got to do to get it.
Wow.
Yeah, and then so I work in real estate, so you touched on that, and it's like I see it firsthand. We syndicate, we go to these buildings, and I don't see nobody looks like me, And I want people to know that it's stuff is not hard. Like it's really fairly simple. You guys have the capital to do it, and like the actual like work ethic to shift through these deals and find a good deal. But I'm all about ownership at the end of the day, and I take the nip approach.
Yeah.
I rather grind it up, and take the stairs. Because in the long run, I'm gonna have the equity, and I'm gonna have sweat equity as well. Like this is something that I build. So, if we do get in a situation where someone wants to buy it or partner with us, they can pay a premium because we like you said, it's a small team. Like we are the marketing. We are the designers. We are the photographers. We are the people doing the back end. Like we literally do everything. So that's a cost on that.
Totally.
So speaking about what you're saying about the Black community and who's teaching us, I really I'm not with reparations. I know people always talk about Black people need reparations.
Yeah,
that's not the solution. Because you're gonna get reparations and not know what to do with it. So what I'm saying, like it's kind of like what's happening now, where these people who are getting these EDD cards or getting unemployment, they're just blowing it and putting it back in the system. Like that's literally the reason why they're doing it.
Yeah.
So I think we need to just learn financial literacy, taxes and investing and putting these type of infrastructures in the hood in these places. Like it needs to start grade 1, kindergarten.
100%,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm all about those type of reparations. I don't want you to just go around just giving people money because that's not gonna help at all.
It's not gonna. Yeah, and the funniest thing that I see also is that it's regurgitated through like our music sometimes. So what I'm saying is, you look at like gold chains, gold, whatever. It's like like that's fun and all those things or whatever, but it doesn't show you from a perspective of like, if you're growing up and you don't know like, how to invest or do anything, like a lot of people can afford to buy gold and do what they need to do because they've, financially like figured that part out. But when you're just a kid watching TV and you're just like, oh, like this is really cool, I want to do that. You're willing to sell everything for, I've heard of people selling like their publishing on music for a gold chain. Like I've seen that. I've been a part, like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I think Jay had a line like some like gold chains are cool. Make sure like your lawyer fees are good. Like it's okay to buy those things, but like make sure your priorities are straight. Make sure everything else is in order before you go out and splurge. Because I think you should always treat yourself, you know, and celebrate the wins. But I think we kind of go out our way to buy these certain things when it's not even necessary.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and I know, like, for me, like, when I think about just the overall perspective of, you know, how things are changing, I think a lot of people are going back to, you know, the humanistic standpoint of, like, what really matters, you know, to them or whatnot. Because sometimes, I mean, it is conditioned, you know what I mean, to be like, oh, I need to have, like Kanye said it, like, I need to have that gold chain, like, once I get my publishing deal or whatever, you know. But yeah, man, I think, like you said, financial literacy and being able to educate our community. And I think the other thing is the generation skip over. Like, you know, a lot of times I look at the generation before us, they're quick to call us like millennials, like, yo, you millennials, da da da. But the interesting thing about that is the fact that there was a generation that didn't teach anything, right? They kept it to themselves, right? It wasn't like, that's the reason why you have a YouTube or whatever. That's the reason why you have a Twitter and all these other, you know, things, is because people got sick and tired of being like, I don't know what to do. Nobody's telling me. Because generations before, you know, you think of like Martha Graham and dancing, you know, ballet. She had schools. Like there was schools for that. You know what I mean? And so, and
like a lot of people, even Kanye talked about this, like knowledge is the most important asset, you know, like that's currency. Like the whole saying of, you know, teach me how to fish. I'll you know, I can fish for days, whatever the saying is, like, that's real. Like, teach me how to do this. Don't just give it to me, because that's not gonna get me anywhere. So yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
And so, you know, like, as far as like, you know, House of Orange, going back to that, I remember when we first had our conversation, you were telling me about how, you know, you guys, some mistakes that you guys made early on was like, you know, buying the samples or whatever, or getting the samples and then having to buy or whatever. Are there any things that, not mistakes, I don't like to use that word, but more so like, is there any lessons? There you go. Any lessons that you guys learned, like hopping into this next chapter with Chasing Summers?
Any lessons? Can't think of. What do you think?
Not that I can think of right now.
I don't think we had any major L's. Knock on wood, you know.
For sure. I mean, that means we're learning something, right?
No, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I think that at every level you find something new. You know, another thing is, you know, just dealing with like what you don't know, you know what I mean? And when it comes, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, one day you chilling and the next moment, you know, you're working on, you know, trying to build something else or whatever. Like, for example, like creating something that hasn't been done before. It's like, how can you actually look at something and say, like, have a trajectory for it because it hasn't been done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we talk about that a lot, about, you know, this is kind of our first time doing something like this. So we're kind of using everything as trial and error. So we don't really take stuff to heart, really, because we don't really know. So we're trying out different things, like different drops we're doing, different way of dropping it. You know, instead of doing a promo, maybe we'll just drop it and see how that does, or maybe just tweaking different things and kind of say innovative. Because, you know, people are fickle. You know, they don't want to keep seeing the same thing, so you kind of got to switch things up.
Yeah, no, I hear that. And so for you guys, like, what is like the dream moving forward? Like, what I mean, you guys have a lot going on, and, you know, moving forward, like, what would ideally you guys, you know, see for House of Orange?
I just want to grow the fan base right now. We have a very strong fan base right now. You know, we have people, you know, multiple buyers. You know, that means we're doing something right. But I kind of want to get it further. Like we House of Orange right now is overseas. You know, it's in the UK. It's in these different places. So we kind of just want to grow it as much as possible, and just be consistent with designs and be creative. You know, long-term goal is, you know, like you said, like have our own brick and mortar, get into, like, you know, Fashion Week in Paris, and even doing a dope collab. Like, I would love to do a collab with like New Balance or something like that, you know, touching shoes and, you know, just doing something. We have so many creative ideas, you know. We just need the platform to do it, and the capital. But I think we keep pushing and keep doing what we're doing, I think we'll get there. Yeah, for sure. I see that already happening with you guys. And that was actually something I was going to bring up, is like the collaborations that are happening. You know, like, you know, the funny thing is when you think about like streetwear, like with skateboard, you know,
that's not foreign to like the skateboard industry. Like they would take something and just collab it. Like, yo, let's put, you know, Rob Diedrich together with, you know, such and such. And then it would turn into something more or whatever. But seeing like Supreme, you know, collaborating with like Louis Vuitton and like, you know, seeing like Nike, you know, collaborating with Travis Scott and, you know, different things like that. I feel like, you know, the world is open to it, you know, a lot more these days.
Yeah. Yeah. We talked about doing certain collabs, you know, because, you know, I played sports. We played sports all our life, played basketball. So there's some stuff that we kind of been cooking up. We're not really going to speak on it yet, but I think the pandemic kind of slowed that down. But, yeah, we're definitely open to collabing. It just has to make sense, and it has to be just dope. You know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Has to stick with the brand. Well, I mean, it's always great having you guys by. We're going to go into my favorite part of the hype hour, which is the hype moment. So I'm gonna hit y'all with some stuff. So what is, as far as like House of Orange, like, can you go through like the 3 things that people might not know about your company?
3 things.
I know I just hit you with it. Like, wait, do they know everything?
Yeah, I think the one thing that people always ask or be surprised about, it's like, oh, like who's on the team? Like, how many people you have? And it's really just me and Tone, you know. Like people are like surprised, like, oh, it's just 2 guys. And from an outside point of view, the way we move and how we structure and present everything, people would think we have this big company behind us or big team, and it's just really just, you know, 2 people doing everything. So I would say that's one thing. What else?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like people are always just like, oh, you and your team are doing a great job, and I'm just like, it's really just me and Ian. That. Can't think of really.
I would say another thing people always ask, like, what is House of Orange? Like, what is that? And I love that question, because that was the whole goal of like naming it House of Orange, is like, what is that? It's so ambiguous, you know. But yeah, House of Orange is, if you look up like what orange means, it means inspiration and creativity.
Oh, nice.
So House of Orange is this house full of creativity, and each room is going to touch on different, you know, mediums of art or anything creative, you know. So the first room, you have fashion. You might go upstairs, it might be art in that room. You might go, you know, around the corner, it's going to be film, you know. So we want to touch all aspects. I don't want to limit it to just saying we're a fashion brand. Like, we're kind of, I don't know what you call it, but we want to touch every aspect of anything creative. So that's something that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah. What is that tagline that you guys have? Is that like a third part? Like, you know,
creativity is infinite.
Yeah. Or no, I was actually quoting on
the page.
The glass.
A glass house so everybody can see.
Yeah. Like
which is that, like, this house that we're building, it's open for everybody to see it. We're not hiding anything as far as what we're doing and how we're doing. If you have any questions, like, hit me up, I'll tell you. And it's a glass house, a dope glass house that you can see everything that we're doing, from, you know, fashion, art, film. Everybody's going to be able to see it.
Man, that reminds me of like this restaurant called Joey, where you can like it's over in Topanga, but pretty much you can see what everybody's cooking and stuff.
Joey,
you know,
that's my spot.
I love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, y'all know about it. But yeah, so where can we find you, and what can we look forward to?
So you can find me at I_Clark on IG. The brand page is H_of Orange, and the actual House of Orange is, the website is hoforange.com.
Okay.
My tag is at Tone Yoon.
Boom. There it is, guys.
Wait, hold on. We want to drop off some stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, wait a minute. Oh, shoot. Okay.
Care package.
Whoa. Okay.
We appreciate you, inviting us on the show.
Twice.
Oh, man.
Twice, yeah.
Yo. Oh, my goodness, man. Okay. we got to rock this. Yo, check it. Yo, man, thank y'all, man. Definitely. My God, definitely.
For sure, man.
Yes, sir, man.
Hopefully you enjoy it.
Bam, look at that. Ooh. All right, guys. Well, that ends the next episode of the Hype Hour, and let's shout out to our sponsors, Hint, and we'll see y'all later.
Appreciate it, man.